ticket type that you purchase. So if you have that basic economy ticket that usually is the most restrictive, now you're able to make changes without having to worry, oh gosh, am I going to have to pay extra? Is this going to be out of pocket? No. If you can hunker down today, try to do so and try to make plans to travel earlier into this week.
That's a good point. I know you travel, it's already cost a lot, and then you don't want to think about all those added fees, right? And we're already seeing more than 2,000 flights that are canceled, not only today, but into tomorrow. So as from your perspective, which airports are you seeing that are most impacted and which airlines?
Yeah, well, obviously Delta and Minneapolis is specifically the one that we're seeing the most strain on, as well as Chicago. And then we want to just remind people, because of the partial shutdown, that any airport, you might see some delays through security. So regardless of what's going on with the weather, you want to make sure that you're getting to those airports early. We're already hearing of Newark as well as Austin experiencing roughly an hour to an hour and a half of delays through security. Even if you have those trusted traveler programs like TSA PreCheck, you just want to listen to mom and dad, get to the airport with even more time than you think during this period.
Yeah, I feel like you're our mom and dad at this point. How long do you think these ripple effects are going to last?
It's likely that 24 to 48 hours, depending upon how much the snow really can impact and the clearing of the roads, not only the roads getting to the airport, but mostly those tarmacs where the flights have to take off. Now, if you are flying on a regional carrier, so think about Endeavor, if you are looking to go on those short haul flights, you're more likely going to get impacted for longer. It's those international or those transcon flights that have those bigger jets that are able to take off, even amongst some sort of wacky weather that still could be persisting through the next 24 to 48 hours. So 24 on the good side, the positive side, 48 hours at worst.
Yeah, we're hoping for that 24-hour.
Yes.
Okay, we're wrapping things up, but let's end on a positive note. What are other things that we can capitalize on with any of these cancellations?
Well, we want people to, if they're not traveling immediately, this is a good reminder, get your summer flights booked. You should be booking those summer flights to begin with anyways. And if you're in the midst of all this sort of wacky weather again, we've had such a rough winter, what's better than dreaming about a little sun?
Taking you now over to New York City this afternoon. 43 degrees was the temperature earlier outside. We're expecting to climb up into the upper 40s, possibly touching 50s today. Periods of light rain through tonight, then thunderstorms arrive tomorrow. It's going to be messy on Monday from morning commutes through to the evening commute. Highs will jump into the 60s tomorrow, and that's adding some extra energy there for some severe thunderstorms to pop up. Yes, New York City, all 5 boroughs are under at least a low-end threat for severe storms. You head further out towards the west, jump into Pennsylvania, well, they're under a threat for severe storms, including even some tornadoes. Now, once we get through the warmth, this front comes in and dramatically drops our temperatures. For Wednesday, the I-95, we're going to be right back into winter with temps running 20 to maybe 15 degrees below average. Right now, we're sitting on the exact opposite of that, 20 degrees above average. On Tuesday, though, that's going to be the day where more people are impacted by significant cold. Where we're seeing it as we speak is actually through the northern plains, with Bismarck at 8 degrees, Rapid City sitting at 15. Omaha right on the cusp where you have this trough that's building in and will deepen over the next few hours, but also where you've got this low that's forming and has already formed, but really intensifying and moving northeast. So you're on that border of the warm air surging north, the cold air coming south, and it's right in that zone where some really intense wind gusts are starting to build. Tomorrow morning is going to be brutal for folks in the Central Plains, likely into the single digits. And you can see where the blue and purple expand towards the I-10 corridor through tonight and early tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central Time. We've got some blue all the way to the I-10, which is prompting the threat for some frost and freeze alerts. So tomorrow morning, have the heavy coats ready, limit your outdoor exposure if possible. If you live in the northern plains, -1 will be the air temperature outside. Feels like much worse than that. The cold temperatures are approaching folks in Mississippi, northern Alabama, Georgia, where there's freeze watches, freeze warnings extending to the I-10. And I'll tell you what, when you are dealing with temperatures into the 70s, and then the next day you have frost and freeze alerts that are out, that's when you know this is one of the more potent March severe weather threats. So stay weather aware. Now, straight ahead on Fox Weather Live, we are tracking a winter storm in the Midwest that could bring record snow to parts of Wisconsin and Michigan. A cold front's bringing threat for tornadoes to the Midwest later today. We're expecting a tornado watch very soon. A thunderstorm is moving toward the eastern seaboard tomorrow. Thanks for being a part of the Fox Weather family. We've got more Fox Weather coming up for all seasons, for all America.
Chances are your home is contaminated with unpurified air.
Did you know you take over 20,000 breaths a day? And this is what you're inhaling.
Did you know the air inside your home is 5 times more polluted than outdoor air?
I had no idea. This is what I was breathing.
Meet Barnacle, the world's first ceiling fan air purifier that's lab tested and scientifically proven to reduce airborne pollutants by up to 99% in as little as 3 hours. No plugs, no bulky machines, no noise, just smart, effective, quiet air filtration that works in harmony with your fan's natural airflow. Look, ceiling fans just push dirty air around. With Barnacle, it's not just spinning, it's cleaning the air. The all-natural coconut carbon filters go to work capturing airborne mold, dust, allergens, microplastics, even dangerous gases, all while neutralizing odors.
I feel better, I breathe better, I sleep better.
These filters have been a game changer for my allergies.
I love my dog, but definitely not my house smelling like him.
I dust half as often. Seriously, these filters are amazing.
If you have a ceiling fan in your home, you need this product.
Think about it. You filter your water, so why not the air you breathe? Candles and sprays only mask odors. Barnacle's porous design not only traps odors and other dangerous particles, it eliminates them.
I never thought to use my ceiling fan as an air purifier, but now I can't imagine living without it.
Join the millions of families already breathing easier with Barnacle ceiling fan filters. Yours for only $21.99. As part of this special TV-only offer, order now and we'll send you a second set absolutely free. Every order comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Barnacle is worth every penny for a cleaner, healthier home.
Plus, find out how you can get free shipping. Stop breathing this. Enjoy fresher, cleaner air with Barnacle.
If you have an air conditioner in your home, you've probably experienced this. That's a drain pan overflow and can cost you thousands. An AC shutdown will leave you hot and miserable. This is why. Funky smelling zoogley bacteria lives, grows, and sticks inside everyone's air conditioner drain pan, creating disgusting odors in your home and also causing your AC to clog up and ultimately shut down. Look, pouring in bleach and vinegar corrodes your coils and will cost you thousands. Using other chemicals and wet vac doesn't eliminate the odors and makes you a slave to your AC. Get iFlow. iFlow is a smart device that easily installs in less than 15 minutes and automatically dispenses our specially formulated iFlow biotic cleaning solution that breaks up and flushes the bacteria out of your drain line, keeping your AC clean and clog-free, guaranteed. Join the over 100,000 satisfied iFlow customers. Available at these fine retailers or learn more at iFlow.com. And for enhanced features, get iFlow Pro, professionally installed by your local air conditioning company. Ask for it by name.
All right, welcome back into Fox Weather Live. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has popped up on our radar that we want to get to quickly before we jump out to our reporters in the field. But thank you for joining us on your Sunday edition. Very active. Louisville, Kentucky, temperatures already into the 70s, southerly winds gusting at 22 miles per hour. A lot of warm and moist air infecting north. This was a newly issued severe thunderstorm warning, but what stuck out to me is tornado possible tag. We're likely going to be getting a tornado watch issued for this exact area in a very short window. It does include areas like Eldridge, but if I were to guess, the area where we could be looking at a tornado that could potentially spin is in this little notch. You also have some lightning that was likely in association with an updraft, possibly some pea-sized hail going on. Zooming in a little bit closer here, I'll see if I can get some rotation just to get a gauge on where we would have some rotation. So zooming in a little bit closer, it seems like this rotationary component would be north of Windyville and east of Plaid on State Highway 64 over in Missouri. Corey Gherkin, he's another storm tracker. We've got Brandon Koppett covering the winter aspect, but we also have Corey covering the severe weather. This particular severe thunderstorm watch or warning rather will expire at 2 p.m. Central Time, but this storm is moving 15 miles to the northeast of Buffalo, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So I'll quickly draw a tracker on this so you guys can stay well informed of where this is heading next and when. It's moving more so northeast at about 45 miles per hour. So let me drive this out. So roughly, Eldridge 1:41 p.m., 2:20 for Richland, 2:33 Crocker, 2:47 Dixon, and 3:30 Cannon. This is just the first sign of a more volatile atmosphere, so likely the first of many severe thunderstorm warnings. And honestly, I think we could potentially be looking at a severe thunderstorm warning that populates here near Fayetteville, Arkansas. Watch out, looks like we've got a hail core moving through the college town of University of Arkansas. So we'll keep you posted on the severe weather threat, but let's head back up to our friends in Marquette, Michigan. We've got Fox Weather correspondent Robert Ray, who is standing in a winter hurricane, for lack of a better word. That is exactly what it looks like. His shot showing the howling wind, the waves just crashing up against the shoreline. And honestly, Robert, that snowbank and possibly even some ice accretion there, it's growing. And we spoke with you, what, an hour ago? Not even. It's pretty significant how much is already piled up.
Yeah, and it's just getting more intense as the minutes tick by here on Lake Superior in Marquette, Upper Peninsula. I'm standing on the shores and icy shores here as the waves come in, and they are just full of giant chunks of ice, and every once in a while they'll come up and lap over into this area. And you see behind me just some of the fury. A bit of a lull right now, but we are expecting a potential for waves to be up to 30 feet high in some areas, up to 3 to 4 feet of snow, and that could be historic. Now, the winds, the blizzard conditions are going to persist all the way into tomorrow night. Just remarkable energy and dangerous, right? That is really the biggest thing in this area. You can't move when you have a system like this coming in so hard. Power outages already, well, I mean, in the region, hundreds of thousands. We've got thousands of flights canceled and delayed, unfortunately, in this region. And all of this, if we look at video of the roadways, as I was traversing around Marquette this morning and just actually in the past hour or so, and watching all of this energy just kick up and get more intense. You see it. I mean, whiteout conditions. You did less than a quarter mile of visibility in many areas, and drifting already beginning. And that's going to be a major issue on the roadways. And when you're talking about 3 feet, maybe 4 feet of snow in isolated areas, it will just shut down this entire region who is used to heavy storms. Having said that, when you think about it, they average about 200 inches of snow a year. We're sitting pretty close to that. We may have the biggest snowfall in winter storm history if we go over 46 inches, which was back in 1976, I believe. So just incredible energy here. And the Yoopers, as they call themselves, you know, they're used to these intense storms like this. But even talking to some of them at the hotel last night and this morning, everybody just shocked at the forecast and how intense it actually is. And to think about, you know, Lake Superior, the largest in the Great Lakes, it really creates so much of its own weather patterns with lake effect. And then when you have these persistent blizzard winds coming in and wind gusts, well, category 1, 75 miles an hour, that's possible. It is just a scene like no other. It's hard. You know, I wish the television sometimes could do it justice as far as, you know, what you see with your eye. But the roar of the winds, too, whipping through off of the lake into the woods and through the canyons of homes and also up the hill in Marquette is something to hear and see. Haley, back to you.
Yeah, Robert, I mean, your shot. There's no words for it. It's insane with how intense the wind, the snow, the waves crashing behind you, and big ice chunks within the waves of Lake Superior. Right now, it seems like Marquette County, minimal power outages, but I'm sure that's not going to stay the case in a very short time. Probably thousands of customers without power soon.
Yes, yeah, and in the region as well. And again, travel is just done. Roadways are going to be impassable very, very soon with this kind of action going on.
remarkable.
Absolutely. Avoid travel at all costs. Robert Ray, thanks so much. We'll check back in with you soon. All right, well, let's head a little bit further south of Robert's location, bring you over to Traverse City, Michigan, where, yes, it's snowing, at least in this shot, with the temperatures climbing now right at freezing. 32 degrees, feels like 22, but it's actually the ice threat, an ice storm warning that's underway for Traverse City, Michigan, where they could be looking at half an inch worth of ice accretion by the end of the day today, heading into tomorrow. And that's where we find Fox Weather meteorologist Jane Menard. Jane, you've been there for the last couple of days now, so you've really seen the switchover from the calm before the storm, as you put it yesterday, to now what still looks like sleet to me. It almost seems like it's raining, a couple of snowflakes possibly mixed in there.
It's more snow at this
Okay,
point. It's been interesting. I've been kind of following along with the temperature profile and looking at radar where exactly we're seeing that mixing line. We absolutely did get freezing rain in the last hour. I sent video back of that. You can see the almost like Dippin' Dot like pellets of sleet that were accumulating in the parking lot. You could hear the ping of it off my jacket, just about off of everything in this parking lot along the bay shores. But now this cold air is starting to at least kind of hold off that mixing line a little farther to our south. So that's not expected to hold all night. What we will see eventually start to take shape, especially in the overnight hours, is that pure freezing rain threat that is going to lead to ice accretions, as you mentioned, could be as high as a half an inch or more for some isolated locations. That's Grand Traverse Bay, and then we take it up towards, say, Mackinac City. So it is definitely a big concern because snow, it's blockbuster. When you see Robert's shot there on the shores of Lake Superior, it's just incredible, right? I mean, the visibilities that's dropped to near zero and the snow that's going to pile up in feet. But when we talk about ice, that's when we talk more power outage risks, right? Snow doesn't always drop power, but ice will because the sheer weight of it. And we've already picked up anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of snow this morning. Now we have, a bit of a wintry mix going on right now, more snow, but eventually that freezing rain and that icing is what's going to add additional weight. We could be talking tens of thousands of power outages as we go through the overnight hours tonight. The trees certainly at risk as we go into tomorrow as winds begin to whip up as this storm pulls away. So we're by no means out of the woods. In fact, Haley, I'd say the harshest conditions are still ahead of us.
Yeah, Jane, I mean, this is really an overnight threat, even into Monday morning. So the worst of it is far from over, from Robert's shot to what you're experiencing in Traverse City, Michigan. It'll be interesting to see the end result come tomorrow afternoon. Jane, thanks so much. Stay safe out there. I know travel is becoming hazardous, if not near life-threatening, by sundown tonight. Now, we are still tracking out the threat for severe weather down across the southeast, a few severe thunderstorm warnings that have popped up. Be sure to stay tuned for some real talk on the key factors of buying a home in these colder climates. Our sponsor, realtor.com.
My name is Jill Biggs. I am the team leader of the Jill Biggs Group at Coldwell Banker in Hoboken. We work primarily in northern New Jersey. I work best market ever. We've got a great lifestyle, a lot going on, properties, great people, good food, everything that makes life happy. When you're buying a house in a cold weather climate, there are things I look for. A high efficiency boiler, right? Nobody wants it. Insulation, super important, especially older homes. The other thing, windows. Windows are so important. They double glaze, triple glaze. They're way more efficient with your monthly bill. That your property faces is very important. Warmer, ice melts quicker. Having a roof, the snow, it's going to melt and go away quicker. All of those things, they factor into the maintenance of your home, which is to look at those things that are going to impact cost and winter livability. Go on realtor.com, you're going to look. They have a tool, year built. If it was built post 2000, it is more likely to have some of those newer upgraded things that they do in construction now. But don't rule out the older home. Just because home was built in the 1800s does not mean that it hasn't been renovated to winterize the property so it's comfortable. The fly around tool is super important. Get on realtor.com and take a look at it. It really is like having your own personal drone. You can see everything about the house, the roof line, the backyard, how close is your nearest neighbor, driveway orientation. You get to look and see, and then you can narrow down your search so you're not guessing. To learn more about buying your next home, go to realtor.com.
And as a reminder to our viewers, if you've got a weather photo or video to share, just simply scan the QR code on your screen and tap into the Share It tab on the page. If you're not in front of your TV, don't worry about it. Just navigate to foxweather.com/connect. We always take uploads there. More Fox Weather is coming up. Be sure to keep it here.
The crisis inside Ukraine has reached a catastrophic level, with the elderly Jews pushed to the very limit.
Go inside. She's freezing cold. There's no electricity, no heat, no water. Winter is now a weapon of war used against the elderly, the mothers, and the young children.
They've been lined up here for hours. These are precious people who are hungry. And they have nothing. If someone doesn't do something soon, a humanitarian disaster is coming. So many Jewish people who are just waiting for someone to care enough to pick up the phone.
Fears are growing that without an emergency, full-scale response, thousands will die this winter.
The International Fellowship of Christians and Jews needs your $25 gift now to help rush a winter survival food box of emergency food for elderly Jews and families in Ukraine. Today, there's a special opportunity to double your gift's impact, thanks to generous fellowship partners. Call now and your gift's impact will be doubled.
They felt the shaking of missiles. These are people who have already endured so much suffering and disaster, taken out power, taken out water, sent water to drink. We're talking about the difference between life or death. Christian, Jew, standing shoulder to shoulder, saying, we're here to heal. We're here to help.
Your gift of only $25 helps rush a winter survival food box filled with life-saving emergency food for elderly Jews and families in Ukraine. Thanks to a special matching challenge, if you call now, your gift's impact will be doubled. Time is critical. Please give now.
Is your shower trying to tell you something? Is getting in and out of the bathtub becoming a safety concern? Are you worried about the cost of a bathroom remodel that could go on for weeks and weeks? Well, now you can have a gorgeous new bathroom shower with a one-day jacuzzi bath remodel that's safer at a price you can afford. We're waiving all installation costs and postponing all payments for up to 1 year.
Oh my gosh, it is beautiful. Oh.
From soft close shower doors and adjustable shower heads to features like grab bars and custom seats that combine safety and style. It's never been easier. Get your free design consultation, schedule your one-day installation, and start loving your new bathroom shower right away.
Call or go online right now. We are waiving all installation costs and offering no interest and no payments for up to 1 year. Go to jacuzzibathremodel.com or call 800-384-4402. Call now.
Well, thank you for staying with Fox Weather and Fox Weather Live. We are keeping our coverage going. Bane Fernie will be up starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. In the meantime, we take you to Green Bay, Wisconsin, where we find Fox Weather exclusive storm tracker Brandon Kopic, who's been traveling through some of the worst of the winter weather conditions so far and having to stop to help a couple of people who have unfortunately fallen victim to treacherous travel. Many National Weather Service offices and public officials saying travel is life-threatening right now. So, Brandon, thank you for hanging out with us and staying with us here on Fox Weather. You are driving through Green Bay, Wisconsin right now. Doesn't seem like you're on a major interstate, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. It does seem like these side roads are the hardest hit and the most dangerous, but there has been pretty good attention being had to some of these major interstates, trying to keep them as plowed as possible. But as you know, with snowfall rates over 2 inches per hour, even if you have a plow come through within just a few minutes, all those efforts are worth just about nothing.
Oh yeah, we're actually on Interstate 43 right now, just southeast of Green Bay, and the conditions continue to deteriorate as we get out of like the main city, the Green Bay proper area. The conditions just deteriorated rapidly. We've run into, multiple people who have already been stuck. It's just small things where, parts of the road aren't plowed, and the last person we just pushed out literally had no tread on their tires. So it's a big thing to stress not to be out today unless you absolutely have to.
To the, I believe, local fire department, as a woman in a van had fallen into a literal ditch off the side of the road. She was okay, so good news there. But they said it could be hours before they can pull her out because emergency vehicles are getting stuck and they take first priority. Can you confirm that that was what happened? And also, have you seen any of those emergency vehicles that have been at least stuck or having a difficult time traveling?
Thankfully, I haven't seen any emergency vehicles stuck, but that is what the woman was told, that they have to prioritize the emergency vehicles that are getting stuck. We just saw a car on the other side of the road going northbound on 43 just slide all over the road and slide off the side. Not off the road completely, but just enough that they're out of the main stretch, but it didn't look like they got stuck. So it's just the conditions continue to deteriorate. While we're not in the most intense portion where we're going to be getting 4 feet of snow like it would be in Marquette, still the Green Bay area is going to be slammed just as hard down to the south with horrible visibilities and intense snowfall rates. So it really is a big thing to stress. Just stay home if you don't have to go out.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't really think anybody should be on the road. Thankfully, it's a Sunday, so if you're not a first responder or an emergency worker and you don't have to get into work today, hunker down at home. But really, I think you have a unique perspective. You live in the upper Midwest, and so just how unprecedented is an event like this for the Upper Peninsula, Northern Michigan, Wisconsin, just given the time of the year? Seeing a blizzard in the heart of winter, whatever, that happens, but we are just around the corner to astronomical spring, which starts on Friday. Meteorological spring started March 1st, and the word historic has been used a few times. Is that your perspective?
I would definitely say so. I was outside Lambeau Field talking to a few gas station clerks, and they told me that their local Fox affiliate, their meteorologist, has been here for 32 years, and he said last night these are the highest snowfall totals that he's ever put out in his forecast for the Green Bay area in the 32 years that he's been here.
Wow. When you have a tenured National Weather Service officer and just people who are meteorologists across the area, and that's the biggest forecast. Green Bay, they've seen a really significant shift in the forecast from even just 36 hours ago, now more so in a bullseye worth of snow. So Brandon, we'll be checking back in with you across the rest of the evening today, and who knows, maybe we'll see you in the mid-Atlantic tomorrow for that severe weather threat. Yeah, TBD on Brandon if he'll be able to make it out there. I know he loves his wife and his kids and wants to be able to stay home with them as well, but he's doing amazing work across the Upper Peninsula and in and around the Upper Midwest, dealing with treacherous snow conditions, helping to pull people out. He truly does act as a first responder. For the Northeast, though, this storm is heading our way. Now, is it going to be a blizzard for New York City, DC, Boston? No. Temperatures right now and even for tomorrow are running 15 to 20 degrees above average. So this is a pure rain event for us. But once that cold front comes in, you'll be noticing a very significant temperature shift, especially into Wednesday. The key threats for tomorrow are damaging wind and even a tornado potential. If you have any travel plans? Unfortunately, I have travel plans to fly out of New York City tomorrow. I don't know if that's going to be happening. I already have an alert on my phone from my airline saying, heads up, your flight could be impacted. My flight's supposed to leave in the middle of the afternoon. So I'm right there with you. I'm dealing with the same struggles as everybody across the country. Strongest winds right now, upper Midwest. That'll eventually shift towards the Northeast overnight tonight, early Monday morning. So Monday morning's commute, even if we're drier in respects to heavy rain, the wind is still going to be a big factor, especially if you're traveling in any high-profile vehicles. Peak wind gusts could get up to 60 miles per hour, but when the front comes in, we'll have straight line damaging winds that could reach close to 70 plus miles per hour. By Tuesday morning, a lot of this is through, but we are still going to be talking about some unsettled weather behind it, possibly a couple of moderate showers, gusty winds, and obviously those cold temperatures. So here's the time frame. The focus right now is the upper Midwest and then the severe potential that's starting to explode for Arkansas, Missouri, and the southeast corridor of Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee. But look at tomorrow where we've got rain that'll come in through the morning. This is 1 a.m. Eastern time, possibly a couple of bands of heavy rain pulling in with moisture and that warm air advection surging north. Here's our cold front, though, that comes in behind. So it's really just a messy, rainy day all day tomorrow. On the backhand side, temperatures will drop below freezing. So the interior Northeast likely to get some snow and then eventually some lake effect snow streamers throughout Appalachia, the Catskills, Tug Hill Plateau in the Cleveland area, Erie, Pennsylvania. Those are all spots that we're monitoring. Not substantial snow totals, upwards of multiple feet like we're seeing across the Ute, but enough to remind you that, hey, we're still dealing with winter weather, especially in the wake of that temperature drop. For tomorrow, the severe storm threat is at a level 4. This is somewhat unprecedented for this time of year and also the region. There's actually never been a level 5 out of 5 for some zones across the mid-Atlantic for severe weather. So if that does happen, which isn't a 0% chance over the next 12 to 24 hours, we'll be sure to report that to you guys, but know that you really need to take this threat seriously. But you should be already doing that because damaging wind and tornado damage can sometimes mirror each other. They can look the same. The only difference is in tornado damage, when the National Weather Service goes out to survey, there's a little more rotation. Damaging wind, they all fall in one direction, whether it's trees or buildings, whatever the wind is able to pick up. But a level 4 is significant. It includes Washington, D.C., and Raleigh, North Carolina, and even portions of northern South Carolina. Coupled with that is a risk for flash flooding. The spot that I would actually pay closer attention to for flash flood potential is northern New England. Not only because we have a lot of heavy rain, but also there's still in some spots over a foot of snow on the ground. So you have rapid snow melt coupled with 2 to 3 inches of rain that can fall. And so that creates the ponding effect and some urban flooding. Rain totals widespread is about 2 inches on the higher end of that, but there are going to be some isolated spots where we get over 3 inches of rainfall. This would be more so in spots with elevation influencing the topography and squeezing out a little extra moisture. Spots 95 corridor, we are in a deficit, so overall this is beneficial rain, but just be sure to stay weather aware and know that severe storms are in the forecast, especially Monday afternoon and Monday evening. We want to give you a big thanks for joining us here on Fox Weather Live. Coming up, we have Bain Frowney taking over at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Following Bain, Ari Sarsalari at 8 p.m. Eastern Time into the overnight hours. We've got extended coverage for you as we track this blizzard and a significant severe weather risk. We also have you covered online. We have our new Fox Weather Live blog. You can scan that QR code. And we also have a tornado watch that has just been issued. We'll have more on that at the top of the hour.
Everybody hates Beth. She eats all the food she loves and stays slim. Kim starts herself dieting, yet still can't lose weight. Beth is full of energy. Kim always feels tired. Beth has an unfair advantage. She takes Almazed, a breakthrough health and weight loss shake that optimizes your metabolism to help you lose weight in a whole new way.
I couldn't lose weight no matter how much I exercise. I tried Almazed. I lost 26 pounds.
The reason you're having trouble losing weight could be a liver clogged with fat that's slowing your metabolism, making it very difficult to lose weight and stubborn belly fat. Almazed is a scientifically proven food supplement that uses natural amino acids and bioactive peptides to help unclog your liver and optimize your metabolism, so it's easier to lose weight.
My name is Stephanie Phillips Sola, and I'm an Almazed success story. I was able to lose 67 pounds with Almazed in roughly 7 to 8 months.
My weight is down. I feel much more energetic than I have in the past.
Over the course of time, I lost a total of 25 pounds. So thank you, Almazed.
Almazed is all natural, supports healthy blood sugar levels, and it's diabetic friendly. Some weight loss plans have you feel weak and hungry, but Almazed will renew your energy, and you can lose weight and feel great.
Almazed's unique protein can truly absorb in your body and aid with weight loss.
Studies showed Almacet helps you lose double the weight compared to other diets.
The fact is, Almacet works, and I highly recommend it.
Go to almacet.com now to get started for just $39.99. That's $4 a meal. We guarantee you can lose weight or you'll get your money back. Be like Beth and get the unfair weight loss advantage with Almacet.
Back pain. When you've got it, you know it. Introducing the X-Back from CopperFit, our groundbreaking technology designed for compression support of your lower back and core like you've never experienced before. Engineered with our most innovative, patent-pending, advanced X compression system, evenly distributes the support across a broader surface area of your back for relief of lower back aches and pains. A super lightweight mesh fabric, ventilated to increase airflow and release excess heat. An orthopedic design alloy support panel, and 4 built-in flexible stabilizers to help improve alignment and promote better posture. The all-new X-Back from CopperFit, the most customizable support for relief of lower back pain you will ever wear. Guaranteed or your money back. Get yours now at getxback.com or call 1-800-258-3998. Order right now and your shipping is free. CopperFit. Feel the difference.
This is a Fox weather alert. Severe weather hitting nearly every region in the U.S. We're following a winter storm in the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. Blizzard conditions with feet of snow already being seen, with more feet of snow possible and significant power outages likely. Snow of this magnitude is bringing travel to a halt. We have live reports from Michigan just moments away. Meanwhile, a widespread severe weather outbreak becoming more likely this afternoon. A new tornado watch issued until 8 p.m. Central Time for Missouri and Western Illinois, and then till 9 p.m. Central for Northeast Texas, Northern Louisiana, all of Arkansas for the most part, and Eastern Oklahoma. 6 states in total under this new tornado watch, with the chance of EF2 or stronger tornadoes likely overnight, in addition to straight-line damaging winds. It's an environment that is certainly primed for severe storms and will continue to march east tomorrow. And as we look ahead to tomorrow, a dangerous severe weather threat is now in place as the system is set to move across the East Coast. We're looking at a fast-moving outbreak of severe weather from Georgia to Pennsylvania. Tomorrow's afternoon commute in the mid-Atlantic is expected to be very slow going. Welcome into Fox Weather Live. I'm meteorologist Haley Meyer. Thanks for joining us on your Sunday. We've got a lot to get to. March throwing everything at us right now with a blizzard and severe weather. Also, a more significant icing threat for Traverse City, Michigan and northern Michigan. We'll have more from Jay Menard coming up. But first, we have to take you out to Marquette. Take a look at this. The sights and sounds of a life-threatening blizzard roaring across the Great Lakes. Marquette could see some of the worst impacts. The city currently under a blizzard warning, and a lakeshore flood warning has been issued for this evening. Fox Weather's Robert Ray is out there braving the storm from the ground. Let's check in with him. Robert, just give me some perspective. It seems like the waves are getting even more angry. It looks like you have some significant freezing spray forming on your, I believe, right-hand side, and that snow has yet to let up. I mean, your shot is dramatic.
Yeah, it's a very dramatic environment out here right now. Everything you just said is spot on. The waves are getting more intense, and they are driving ice chunks into this shoreline of Lake Superior, just to the, I guess south of Marquette, downtown Marquette, where we're at, and it's just driving BBs of snow and ice coming right off of Lake Superior, and you see it just lapping through right now. I'm gonna walk through this. So, you know, that's the thing. It just continues to get more intense about every 15-20 minutes, and that's what we expect all the way through today into tonight and even tomorrow night. All these blizzard conditions could persist. Think about that, for over 24 hours. And the amount of snow, that could be anywhere between 3 to 4 feet, 4 feet in some isolated areas. And they haven't seen snow like this in one dump since 1976, in December when they got 47 inches. So either we break that or we go in the top 5 of the amount of snow ever here in the UP. And these waves, they could reach 20, 30 feet out there in the distance, as well as wind gusts up to 75 miles per hour, which, as we know, that is the beginning of Category 1, 74 miles per hour, Category 1 hurricane. In the meantime, hundreds of thousands of power outages already in the region, thousands of cancellations on flights, and also delays as well. And these roadways, the visibility is just horrible. I mean, we're talking way less than a quarter mile. So whiteout conditions already. And again, it's only going to get worse as you see the water just crashing into the shoreline here. Lake Superior, the biggest, yikes, the biggest lake in the Great Lakes, about 160 miles long, and the width well over 300 miles. So this body of water almost acts as an ocean and creates its own energy and its own lake effect, and then you add a system coming into it, and it's even worse. Now, all of this as well creating snow drifts on roadways that will be impassable. We expect big power outages in this region as well as this persists. In the meantime, again, this is only getting more ferocious. I'm not kidding you. This storm is throwing haymakers already, and it's just begun. It truly is going to be a boxing match with Mother Nature for this area. And Upers, as they call themselves up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, yeah, they are, not afraid of tough weather. But even the folks I've spoken to last night and this morning, so this forecast is just outrageous. So here we are, mid-March, and this is going to be historic and long-lasting. That is for sure. Jane, or Haley, rather.
Yeah, absolutely, Robert. I was talking with Brandon Kopic. He said one of the forecasters of the National Weather Service office near Green Bay said he's never issued this much snow in his forecast in his 32-year career. So historic is certainly a word for it. Earshot still can't get over it. Crazy with those waves. Robert, I'll let you get a brief moment of warmth and try and at least dry off, but incredible what we're already seeing in the upper Midwest. Woo.
Thank you.
Yeah, those waves, those are getting a little scarily close to Robert. He's used to something like this, but truly looks like a winter hurricane there in Marquette. We take things down to the area where visibility, I know we're looking at a stadium, but you hardly see what is in front of you. That is how hard the snow is starting to come down. The winds picking up, northeast winds at 30 miles per hour. Now, Altoona, Wisconsin, northeast at 21 miles per hour. So we are by far nowhere near done with this event. And again, Marquette is the spot that's going to take the worst of this on, especially when it comes to snow totals. The snow totals are potentially close to 4 feet by the end of this. So for Chicago, temperatures are warm, 59 degrees, mostly rain here, a couple of thunderstorms coming in through the overnight hours. We'll be monitoring that. But anywhere from Milwaukee, Wisconsin north, it's a snow event for you right now. And the snow, it's on. We could be looking at snowfall rates close to 2 to 3 inches per hour. What you're looking at here for viewers at home, these tighter lines, that is showing you where the winds are the most pronounced. Our area of low pressure, that's the big instigator behind all of this insane weather, really, is right now into northern Illinois and will eventually move through the upper Midwest. But the worst of the winds now moving through central Iowa, southeastern Minnesota, Wisconsin, and yes, the upper peninsula of Michigan and central and southern Illinois. Green Bay, more specifically, it seems like we're going through a couple of pockets, maybe snowfall rates close to 1.5 inches per hour, maybe a few pockets of thunder snow even. You see a few of those lightning icons, especially as you head and the shoreline there. Green Bay, the travel, especially if you are not on a major interstate, you do not want to be out. I don't think you should be out in general, but the interstates usually get the attention first of any kind of transportation crews that are out doing the best they can to keep roads manageable. The side roads, that's the last of their priorities. And so that's where the real concerns start to tick up. If you get stuck, you're not their first priority. You could be out there for hours. So think twice before you go out. Blizzard tracker right now showing you that we have a handful of confirmed blizzard conditions that have happened over the last 3 hours in southwest Minnesota, northwestern Iowa, and then we also are looking at blizzard conditions getting confirmed in eastern so not quite the northern tier of the mid of Michigan, but once you head into the Yup, that's where we're seeing winds of over 35 miles per hour, likely close to 40, 50 miles per hour within the next couple of hours at the very least, and snowfall coming down heavy. So if you are across the Upper Peninsula and you're tuning in, look at Robert Ray's shot. That's likely what you're going to be experiencing if you step outside the door and try and travel. You do not want to do it. Life-threatening is a word that has been used across all platforms, whether you're an emergency manager, government official, or you're a meteorologist. Blizzard warnings are out for over 11 million people. That includes South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Michigan. One thing that was somewhat new over the last few hours is an ice storm warning that was issued for northern Michigan. It includes Traverse City, where we've been speaking with Jane Menard. It also includes Gaylord and out towards Mackinac City. The Mackinac Bridge is closed down. You cannot be traveling through northern Michigan into the Ute today, and likely probably no travel tomorrow. I would venture to guess school is going to be canceled tomorrow, because by no means is this event going to be letting up hardly any steam by early Monday morning. Things will finally start to look a little bit better by Monday evening, but then we watch as all those impacts get handed off to the northeast. Wind, or snow totals rather, for Marquette, we see some peach. That's 36 to 48 inches. That's almost a guarantee. The forecast calling for a 90% chance of seeing at least 2 feet of snow. A few isolated spots of 4 feet of snow are possible. Green Bay is one spot where we've seen the forecast change and trend in a more snowier solution. So be prepared for the ice accretion. If you are near Mackinac City, Gaylord, Michigan, we could be looking at upwards of 3/4 of an inch of ice. That's enough to knock out power in and of itself. Then you on the winds. It's just downright dangerous. This is a historic blizzard that's already unfolding. The forecast called for it, and we're seeing it unfold in real time. Let's take you down to the south, where we are tracking a multi-day severe weather threat. We have an active tornado watch that's in place for 6 separate states right now. Birmingham, Alabama, temperatures into the mid-70s, southerly winds at 12 miles per hour, helping to heat up the atmosphere and add a lot of instability. The threat level today is a level 3 out of 5, but it is calling for damaging winds of over 75 miles per hour, plus violent tornadoes. We could see EF2 or stronger tornadoes, whether they be discrete supercells or they are coming within this linear storm that will slice through this evening and into the overnight. There's a tornado watch that was issued not too long ago for areas like Springfield, St. Louis, Missouri, 8 p.m. Central Time for the northern half of this threat. So this is really our line here. The southern end, including Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and northern Louisiana, until 9 p.m. Central Time. We're already seeing a few severe thunderstorm warnings starting to pop up across Arkansas and southern Missouri. So I'm going to jump into those warnings right now. A few of them have had tornado possible tags attached to them, but no tornado warnings as of late. So at least we've got some good news there. But the Missouri Ozarks, I mean, this is a spot that I was talking with a couple meteorologists behind the scenes, Cody Broad. He was saying, don't count out the Ozarks. There's enough instability, enough moisture that's really building here. And so they could be a sneaky tornado threat. I am seeing just a little bit of upper level rotation here south of Kimberling City, north of Blue Eye. Nothing that sticks out to me as an imminent tornado, but it is just a sign as the cell starts to pull to the north that maybe this bottom half could get a little more of a rotationary component to it. Possibly we see a tornado possible added to that severe thunderstorm warning coming up. Severe thunderstorm warning, this one going until 2:15 p.m. Central Time. Nothing too concerning right now. It seems as though this was for this big cell moving through Fayetteville, dropping a hail that was probably pea size, but the propensity of inch or greater hail certainly there. But that warning, we're just waiting for that one to expire within the next 2 minutes, because that cell has diminished a little bit in its intensity and has moved well off to the northeast. So if you're in Fayetteville, you can take a little breather, no big concerns. But Branson, this is a actually a really fun city. I went there with my family for my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary. But for Branson, if you are taking maybe a spring break vacation there, go indoors. There's a lot of mini golf there, a lot of lake properties, and a lot of fun that can be had in Branson. You do not want to be outside in this. Heading north towards Springfield, especially southwest or southeast rather of Springfield, we have a couple pops of lightning, some heavier rainfall rates in between Nixa and Springfield. Nothing to me that I think would prompt any kind of severe thunderstorm warning quite yet, but these are just the first few storms that are popping up. Keep in mind that this is going to extend well through the overnight hours, and so that's the real concern. Now we're looking further north, just south of Jefferson City, Missouri. This is for Camden, Maries, and Miller County. It's interesting because we are kind of in between a radar zone, so notice how the radar image looks different. We're on that outer edge of two separate radar sites, one to the north, one to the south. So it distorts the picture a little bit and makes it harder for us meteorologists to just decipher exactly what's happening on the ground. But what I am seeing are some lightning flashes to the north of where we have a small notch here. Again, this doesn't have a tornado possible tag on it. I'm not saying that there is, but possibly we're looking at a little bit of level rotation, just very light, that could be forming. This is a cell to watch within the next little bit, just to kind of look at the evolution of this cell. Notice how it almost just kind of looks like a blob, kind of a raindrop, and then you see more structure come into play as it progresses to the northeast. So where you have this smaller hook, almost like a backwards J, that's where a tornado would form if it came together. I'm not, again, saying that that's going to happen, but it is just a cell to watch, in my opinion. And if you have a lot of lightning north of where that smaller notch is, that's showing an intense updraft where hail could be present. So with this storm, it is moving towards the northeast at 55 miles per hour. Just to drag it out, it'll be roughly near Lyon in about an hour, I would say, and then closer to the I-64 corridor within an hour and a half. So this cell could actually roll right through St. Louis. And so this is also a cell to watch, because with its motion and more time to go left in the atmosphere to kind of cook and gain intensity, it could reach its peak strength in a St. Louis suburb in Missouri and western Illinois. So that's why we have a tornado watch that's out. But still, don't discredit some of these cells to the south. These are more of the discrete cells that are popping up. Eventually will merge into more of a QLCS linear system where overnight tonight, damaging winds of over 70 miles per hour, potentially strong tornadoes are looking likely, especially like Tennessee, Louisville, Kentucky, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, and even along the I-10 corridor, closer to Dothan, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida, the 30A zone. That's where a lot of spring breakers go. I was one of them in high school and in college. So tonight, please stay weather aware and have at least one way to get any kind of watches or warnings that get issued through your area. And still to come this hour, severe storms are impacting Hawaii. This has been going on there since Tuesday. Flooding and power outages, with Maui getting nearly 2 feet of rain in just 24 hours. The storm continuing through the weekend. The entire state under a flood watch through at least tomorrow. We've got more on that threat and severe weather when Fox Weather Live returns.
The crisis inside Ukraine has reached catastrophic level.
Go inside. She's freezing cold. There's no electricity, no heat, no water. Winter is now a weapon of war used against
hours. These are precious people who are hungry. They have nothing. If someone doesn't do something soon,
Godzilla is alive.
Humanitarian
Godzilla is alive.
is coming. So
Godzilla
many
is
foolish
alive.
people who are just waiting for someone to care enough to pick up the phone.
If it weren't for you, when Michaela would still be alive.
Full-scale response. Thousands will die this winter.
The International
If
Fellowship
it weren't
of
for you,
Christians and Jews needs your
if it weren't for you,
$25
Michaela
gift
would
now
still be
to help
alive.
rush a winter survival
If it
food
weren't
box
for you,
of
Michaela would
emergency
still
food
be
for
alive.
elderly Jews
Michaela
and
would still
families in Ukraine.
be alive.
Special opportunity to double your gifts.
Michaela Raines would still be alive.
And your gifts impact
Michaela Raines would still be alive.
People who have already endured so much suffering and disaster.
Michaela Raines would still be alive.
Picking out water.
Marshawn London Nealon would still be alive. He's still alive. Marshawn Nealon. Marshawn Nealon would still be alive. Marshawn London Nealon would still be alive. Michaela would still be alive.
filled with life-saving emergency.
Michaela would still be alive.
Jews and families in Ukraine.
Michaela would still be alive. Michaela would still be alive.
Please give now.
Mufasa would still be alive.
Dirty shoes, and endless cleaning. Are your floors always dirty no matter how many times you clean? Now there's a simple solution. Meet Muddy Mat, the ultra-absorbent microfiber chenille mat that keeps your dog's paws so clean. It's like they're wiping them at the door. Muddy Mat is designed with thousands of advanced ultra-soft microfibers that are 5 times more absorbent than ordinary doormats.
My floors have never been so clean.
He'd still be
I mean,
alive.
both Ruby and Blue
He'd still be
came in
alive.
covered in mud.
He
And
was-
this anti-mud mat
He'd
left
still
their
be
paws
alive,
sparkling.
and she'd still be
They
alive.
step across it
He'd still be
just
alive,
once
and she'd still be alive.
completely
He'd still be alive, and she'd still be alive.
The best mat I've ever found, and we have tried many. There's still a sale going on. I wouldn't wait.
Be alive, and she'd still be alive. She'd still be alive. She'd still be alive.
What are you waiting for? Call or go to trymuddymat.com.
He's still alive, and she's still alive. She's still alive. She's still alive.
All right, welcome back into Fox
He's
Weather
still
Live,
alive.
keeping our coverage
Still
going
alive.
with an active severe weather threat unfolding across the mid-Mississippi River Valley, and that will expand into the Northeast tomorrow. Spots like North Carolina, South Carolina, our nation's capital,
He's
D.C.,
still alive.
under a level 4 out of 5
still
threat for
alive.
damaging winds and tornadoes.
He's
Peak intensity
still
expected
alive.
Monday afternoon.
He's still
Before we talk about
alive.
what we're expecting to see
He's
tomorrow, I do
still
want to briefly
alive.
hit on some of the more active storms we're tracking right now. This one for Branson, Missouri. Now, I mentioned Branson because this is a very popular destination, especially for families. It's spring break season, and this is a powerful storm. At this point, north of Branson, northwest really is where I'm expecting probably the larger hail core of this. And hail at this point, the estimate is about 1 inch, but let's see at least what our radar estimate's pulling up for you. A little over a quarter of an inch worth of hail size. So that's about pea-size hail. But at one moment, I did see a little bit of rotation going on, upper level in the storm, not enough to kind of tornado possible tag. I am still kind of seeing that south of Branson. Nothing concerning, but it is just a sign that these storms are starting to work their way into a more sheared out environment, which worries me for later this afternoon. Further south into Berryville, this is also another strong storm going to be tracking over probably Branson proper, if not just a little bit further south. In this storm, hail not really registering, at least on our radar product. And if we look at the rotation, no real rotation within that storm. So that's really the only severe thunderstorm warning we have on our board right now, but a couple of budding supercells that are possible south into northwestern Arkansas. And then we're also tracking out some stronger storms that are moving closer to the St. Louis area. This one's a little bit interesting to me. We'll see how that unfolds within the next couple of hours. But that brings me into what we could see tomorrow, because tornadoes are certainly on the table in addition to straight line damaging winds. The current threat sits at a level 4 out of 5, but there is a possibility we could get upgraded to a 5 out of 5. Even though it is slim possibility that that could happen, a level 5 out of 5 is unprecedented. For some of these cities, they've never been under a level 5, a high threat for severe weather. It does include Washington, D.C. under the level 4, including Richmond and Raleigh. You'll start to see some rain earlier in the morning, borderline overnight. This is more so on the sub-severe side of things, definitely heavy rain, but not quite enough instability to really capitalize on that. But notice how things change by Monday morning and heading really into Monday early afternoon. We've got some supercells developing in central eastern North Carolina, South Carolina, and even around Pennsylvania, DC around 1, 2 o'clock. Those storms have a good chance of producing a tornado. So stay tuned for that. And then eventually the cold front sweeps in and we get straight line damaging winds. The wind threat right now, real quick, highlighting a 5 out of 5 on the Fox weather wind scale, right through, in some cases, the heart of the I-95 corridor, a very densely populated area. This is one of the more dangerous severe weather risks, especially when you consider the population center, with this being a Monday afternoon. So if you are heading to work or school still in session, just be extra cautious if you decide to travel.
Come on.
And speaking of travel, it's been snarled across the Midwest and the upper tier of the country due to this dangerous blizzard. More than 5,400 U.S. flights have been disrupted by the blizzard blasting the Midwest, according to FlightAware. Travel expert Katie Nastro joined Weather Command Weekend in studio this morning to break down all things travel.
Our biggest piece of advice for anybody that's traveling today or even tomorrow is you want to take advantage of those winter weather waivers that airlines have out. Delta preemptively canceled flights going into the weekend because they knew select airports were more at risk to see more cancellations. And lo and behold, we're seeing over 10% of those flights automatically canceled outrightly starting today, and that number could start to rise. So biggest piece of advice, take that waiver, which means it's really like a golden ticket. You can make changes to your itinerary without any additional cost, regardless of the ticket type that you purchase. So if you have that basic economy ticket that usually is the most restrictive, now you're able to make changes without having to worry, oh gosh, am I going to have to pay extra? Is this going to be out of pocket? No. If you can hunker down today, try to do so and try to make plans to travel earlier into this week.
That's a good point. You travel, it's already cost a lot, and then you don't want to think about all those added fees, right? And we're already seeing more than 2,000 flights that are canceled, not only today, but into tomorrow. So as from your perspective, which airports are you seeing that are most impacted and which airlines?
Yeah, well, obviously Delta and Minneapolis is specifically the one that we're seeing the most strain on, as well as Chicago. And then we want to just remind people, because of the partial shutdown, that any airport, you might see some delays through security. So regardless of what's going on with the weather, you want to make sure that you're getting to those airports early. We're already hearing of Newark as well as Austin experiencing roughly an hour to an hour and a half of delays through security, even if you have those trusted traveler programs like TSA PreCheck. You just want to listen to mom and dad, get to the airport with even more time than you think during this period.
Yeah, I feel like you're our mom and dad at this point. How long do you think these ripple effects are going to last?
It's likely that 24 to 48 hours, depending upon how much the snow really can impact and the clearing of the roads, not only the roads getting to the airport, but mostly those tarmacs where the flights have to take off. Now, if you are flying on a regional carrier, so think about Endeavor, if you are looking to go on those short haul flights, you're more likely going to get impacted for longer. It's those international or those transcon flights that have those bigger jets that are able to take off, even amongst some sort of wacky weather that could be persisting through the next 24 to 48 hours. So 24 on the good side, the positive side, 48 hours at worst.
Yeah, we're hoping for that 24 hours. Okay, we're wrapping things up, but let's end on a positive note. What are other things that we can capitalize on with any of these cancellations?
Well, we want people to, if they're not traveling immediately, this is a good reminder, get your summer flights booked. You should be booking those summer flights to begin with anyways. And if you're in the midst of all this sort of wacky weather again, we've had such a rough winter. What's better than dreaming about a little sun?
Well, we've got a look at New York City this afternoon. Periods of rain expected later tonight. Got some cloud cover starting to build in. Temperatures today, 40 degrees right now. I think the peak of the temp today was in the mid-lower 40s. Highs, though, into the 60s tomorrow. And then to crash after a cold front comes in. But this storm is going to be bringing some stuff we just mentioned to New York City, D.C., even towards Boston, some very heavy rain. But where the storm sits right now, it's prompting blizzard conditions. Just showing you a picture of Green Bay, Wisconsin, where temperatures 29 degrees further south into Chicago, 59. That's really the difference that this warm front will make. The area of low pressure right now strengthening as we speak, getting even stronger than it already is in eastern Iowa, northern Illinois. and even portions of Des Moines along the I-80 corridor reporting some freezing rain. Don't count out this ice potential with this blizzard. We have ice storm warnings for the north, closer to Gaylord, Michigan, Traverse City under an ice storm warning where ice accretion could be upwards of half an inch. That's enough to cause power outages in and of itself. But what really is prompting widespread power outages is the intense wind gusts. Now, the low, as you can see here, in northern Illinois, give or take, but where you have these tighter black lines, those are called intense isobars. The closer they are, the faster the winds go as they get sucked into the center of low pressure. Now, it's not just this low that we have. We also have a high sitting north into Canada, and it's that pressure gradient force that's also increasing the wind speed. As the low strengthens, that also bumps up the wind speeds as well. So by the end of the event today and heading into early tomorrow morning, the likelihood of 60 close to 70 mile an hour winds are there. And that is close to hurricane strength, especially for folks tuning in across northern Wisconsin, the Ute, northern Michigan as well. Strongest wind gusts happening near the I-90 corridor, the intersection, as those winds are rapidly coming from the north to the south and getting sucked into the low. Confirmed blizzard conditions to the southwest of Minneapolis, St. Paul, that general region. But we're also looking at blizzard conditions starting to take over for eastern Michigan across the Ute. But if you look at Robert Ray's shot, which we'll be going to him shortly, you'll know that a blizzard is indefinite at this point. Over 11 million people are blizzard warning right now.
Everyone's Irish tonight. Everyone's Irish tonight.
Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.
Imagine transforming this eyesore into a beautiful jacuzzi bath remodel in as little as one day.
Well, thanks for watching and hope you enjoy. Bye-bye.
Designer colors and premium features like soft closed doors.
Call right now and jacuzzi will waive installation costs with no interest.